Hi, my name is Mark and welcome to my channel, The Media Nerd. I gotta tell you, this is going to be my last video shooting in this office. Don't worry, it's not gonna be my last video, just the last video here in the office. And this is why I am getting absolutely tired of shooting in my regular work office. The setup time takes forever, then I have to tear everything down. I have a lot of things that are going on while I'm trying to shoot. I shoot myself, you know, the camera's just right there, no one is manning it. I'm doing all the camera and I'm doing all the editing and all the sound checking, but then I have my cats that come into the room that disrupt things. I have my dogs that come into this room and disrupt everything. I have a fish tank in the other room that makes a lot of noise that I always have to shut off, and then sometimes I forget to turn it back on. But don't worry, the fish are still okay. But then there's things like unexpected clients that show up in the middle of a video shoot, or delivery people that come in and ring the doorbell, and then the dogs go absolutely crazy. So I am moving, and that is what this video is all about. I have another room in my house that's a spare room that we usually basically just use it for a junk room, and I'm gonna clean it up. I'm gonna put in new tables, shelves. I'm gonna make it a nice studio that I don't have to constantly set up and tear down and set up and tear down whenever I wanna do a video shoot. Everything is going to stay where it is, and all I have to do is sit down and hit record on the camera. Let's get going. This is the new studio that I'm going to be shooting all of my Media Nerd videos. So you have to have a little imagination and a little vision to understand what I'm going to be doing. So I have a table that I bought that's gonna go right here, and I'll have a chair. The camera is gonna be set up over there facing me. On the back, I have some nice floating shelves that I'm going to install, that I'm gonna have some Media Nerd trinkets in the background that's gonna make it look really nice. But another really cool thing about using this space is I have another channel that I've never mentioned before on this one called Fishing Around Colorado Springs. And it is me showing where to go fishing around Colorado Springs, but I also go to a lot of other states, so it's not just specific to Colorado. Plus, I show where to go camping and how to cook on a campfire. It's a really cool channel, and I'll be able to use this room to be able to show some of the lures that I'm using and different things like that that goes along with the fishing channel. So I'm gonna get everything set up. I'm gonna start cleaning, moving things around, get the table installed. So we're gonna get at it right now. I got everything pretty tidy. It's still a mess behind the camera. You don't want to see that, but I'll take care of that later. Everything for the shooting section of this right in here is pretty much cleaned up. That's the big table I was telling you about. So what I'm gonna do is get a vacuum, and I'm gonna vacuum the floor, clean it up a little bit before I get started with the build. I know the vacuuming was a really exciting part of the video, but at least the floor is pretty clean now. The camera is now sort of set where I want it. I may change the location, but this is basically going to be the view right here with a nice back wall. And next thing I'm gonna do is build out the table and get the table exactly where I want it, since that's going to be the main center focus of my videos. So the table's gonna go about right there. It's in the cardboard box. I'm gonna get that built out right now. Now that I have the table, I think where I want it, it's time for me to take the camera that I'm talking to you through and lower it down so it's more eye level. So, because right now it's really high, and I want it down where I usually have it, which is about right here. And then I'm going to make sure I have this table exactly where I want it. The camera is exactly where I want it. I changed the lens out on the camera to the original lens, what I usually shoot on. What I was shooting before was a wide angle, so you could see everything I was doing. Now it's the regular lens giving me the shot I think that I want. It's now time for me to place the shelves on the back walls, and I need to make sure that I don't put anything behind me because I don't want any kind of shelves sticking out of my head. Make sense? It'll look good. So let's get the shelves installed. Okay, this is my daughter Willow. She's assisting me with seeing where we're going to put these shelves, and we're gonna just use a little pencil to mark it. So here, I think I have I think there's 6 shelves total. So, okay, that's pretty good. So we have to make sure that there's something that can go on it that doesn't get cut off. Yeah, maybe just about right there. Maybe put a shelf there. Okay, so I'm sitting here. If you walk over that way for a second. So I was originally here and I have the wall crease coming out of my head. That's exactly what I don't want. Okay. So maybe if I'm here sitting and I'm sort of in that little alcove now, and I move the table just about like that. Yeah. I think that looks good. And the camera just has to get shifted. Now Willow and I are gonna have to find the studs to be able to anchor these floating shelves on, but I think this is pretty much it. The lighting obviously still is not what I want, but it's good enough for now. All right, I'm gonna put the first shelf in, and as soon as I get this one up, I should be able to get a nice straight line for the other 2 that's going to go on the other side. Okay, I think everything is pretty level here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the screws in. It's pretty solid. Hopefully it'll look good. Here we go. That's it. Perfect. Can't put anything too heavy on this, but it's gonna work out just fine. Exactly what I wanted it for. So I'm gonna do all the other shelves. Let's get at it. It's gonna take a little while. The first 3 shelves are up. 3 down, 3 to go. All 5 shelves are up. Looks pretty good, right? Let's tackle the last one. Over the past few years, I've been collecting a bunch of old media related stuff, which is gonna be perfect for the shelves behind me. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting all of that stuff up. I decided I wanted to have a table behind me. I just so happen to have a spare table, so I put that there, but I really don't like the wooden look. So I went ahead and bought a black tablecloth off of Amazon. I'm gonna put that on the table and see how that looks. And then I'll be able to put something on the table, which I think will look really nice. I think for now, this looks really good. I may wanna put something else different on the table behind me. Maybe an antique projector would look pretty cool. It is now time to put up the lights. So right behind me on the ceiling is some old school track lighting, and I wanted to be able to utilize that to enhance and light up all of the fun stuff on the shelves. But I ran into 2 problems. The first is it's off center with the shelving, and that would have been a pretty easy fix. But the second is I wanted to be able to change the color temperature, the Kelvin, to be able to match the rest of the lights. And also, I wanted to maybe throw some reds or some blues, just have some options. So I got some LED light bulbs and I put it in, and this is what happened. Because they're so old school, they don't really recognize the new LED bulbs. So the first one worked just fine, but there was this trickle down effect that wouldn't let the other 2 get powered on. So big bummer for that. What I did is I purchased some LED track lighting off of Amazon, and I'm going to install it right now. I'm not an electrician. I know I need to turn the power off, but I'm gonna see how it goes and try to center it up and put in the new LED track lighting that I can change the color temperature and everything I want. I finally got the track lighting up. It was easier said than done. I even had to make a trip to the hardware store. Now I'm going to stop the video right here for a second for this insert because I know exactly what you're going to say. You're going to say, Mark, the LED track lighting you just installed, the lights are flickering. Now watch this. That's incredible, right? No, it's not because I just pulled a Fonz and snapped my finger. What happened was after I got done shooting this video and I was editing, I saw the flicker and I was absolutely devastated. So I went online and I found a plugin for Final Cut, and it also works with other software programs, that is called Flicker 3 by Digital Anarchy. And they just came out today with Flicker 3 3.0, and it solved the problem. It was amazing. So I'm putting a link to their website in the video description so you don't have to deal with this flicker issue any longer. To get electrical blocks to put into the ceiling, and I cut a hole in the ceiling, and of course I hit a 2x4 in the ceiling. So then I had to make a new hole to put the track lighting up, but I was really careful about that. And I took the piece that I took out from the second hole and I stuck it in the first hole. So I just have a little ceiling repair work to do, no big deal. The track lighting is everything I want it to be. I have a software program on my phone that can basically operate this light. I can make it really bright. I can make it really dim. I already have the color temperature set at 4,500, which is the same as my main lights. But if I want to, I can even change the color of it as well. I can make it blue or red or green. So whatever I really want. I love it. I love it. I am now ready to install my lights, and you don't have to overthink this. It is a basic 3-point lighting setup. You have your key, which is your main light, and your fill, which is your secondary light, and then you have your rim light or your shoulder light that's gonna go above your head, behind you, that hit on your shoulders. So basically, your key and your fill, your key, you just want to have it a 45-degree angle from where you're going to be standing or sitting. And your fill, that's really up to you. You can do another 45-degree or you can do a 90-degree. I'm going to probably stick with around a 45-degree depending on where I can actually mount this light or these lights on the ceiling. So I'm going to be using my GVM lights. These are pretty slick, and what I did is on Amazon I found this mounting bracket that mounts right at the light like this, and it'll attach to the ceiling. Oh, let's get this mounted to the ceiling, and hopefully I won't have any issues like I did with that track light. All right, so just right about here, I already put a little mark. That's where I'm going to put my first light. It's either going to be my key or my fill. It doesn't really make a difference at this point in time. You can swap it out, put the key over here, put the fill over there, just to change the mood, however you want to do it. But just about right here is where I'm going to put my first light. So that should do it. I'm not going to attach power cords to the wall. I'm just going to let it dangle down because I'm probably going to have to use these lights when I go on video shoots until I get another set. So I think I want to put my key light or my fill light, whichever one I determine is going to go here, just about right here where the end of the old track lighting was. I think that's going to be a really good place. But first, I think I want to take this vent off and I want to see where the air duct is because I don't want to be poking holes through the air duct. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Yeah, that was easy. Great. It is now time for me to put my rim light in, or my shoulder lights. I have my key and my fill mounted on the ceiling. I haven't done much with them yet to make them look the way I want, but I just need some work light right now, so it is what it is. So for my backlight, or my rim light, I'm gonna use 2 of these Clar Phantom series, and they're bicolor camera LED lights, and they're battery operated, which is really cool, right on the back. On Amazon, I bought a ceiling mount right here that has a swivel. So the light is basically going to attach right on. So it's going to attach onto the ceiling like this, and then I'll be able to swivel it around how I need it. So basically you only need one backlight. But because I think I might be doing some vlogcasts or podcasts, whatever you want to call it, I may have a chair here and a chair here for interviewing people. And so I'm going to want to have a rim light on the back of each person, which makes sense. And then if I want to, I can just swivel it. If I'm going to be by myself, I can swivel them both to hit me in the back, and I'll have a little bit of light, a lot of light on both shoulders, but that's gonna be okay. You never have too much. You can always turn one off or dim them both down. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can find a nice spot right over here and right over here for these rim lights. I'm excited. I have all my lights up. I have the cool light over there up, the track light, and now all I have to do is get everything cleaned up and ready to go, and I can start shooting. So I'm gonna show you what it all looks like once I'm done cleaning up. It was easier said than done. It took about 3 weeks to get this room put together because there were some parts that I had to order online and wait for. But it is pretty much exactly how I wanted it to look. I'm sure there's gonna be some tweaks and modifications along the way, but I really like what's going on right now. Let me show you around. To my left is my key light, and I have that set at 100%. And to my right is my fill light, and I have that set at 50%, and it's filling in perfectly. Right above my shoulders, I have my rim lights or shoulder lights, and they're both hitting right down at my shoulders. They're set at the same temperature as my main lights, and I have those set at about 50%. The nice thing about the rim lights is if I do have another person sitting beside me, so I'm on one side and they're on the other, I'll be able to adjust those rim lights accordingly. Where I have all my cool antique stuff, I have the track lighting, and that is set up to match my regular lights. And if I want to change the color, I can change the color of that to blue or green or red, whatever strikes me. And right behind me is the table that I put in, and I have another LED light right behind that, and I have that set to red. And like all the other lights, I can change the color and I can change the temperature. The one thing about this table that I really like, besides it being so rugged, is that it has a power strip on the left where I can plug things in. It has 4 outlets and 2 USB ports. And to my left is a really cool setup. It is my light box that I have for products. I'll be able to take professional pictures, or I can do video, and make the product spin if I want to. Now, one of the coolest things is that digital Anarchy plugin that I bought to take the flicker out of the video. Now, all the different stuff that I used to make this room, I have listed in the video description with links to Amazon, so you can easily purchase it if you want. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe, like, and ring that bell for future notifications. You have yourself a wonderful day.